believe he banged knees, knee to knee.
Is that something that's a concern, or we can see how it feels?
Yeah, we'll wait and see how it feels. Sometimes that can be a 10-hour thing or a day, I don't know. I've had it before, so we'll see.
What did you make of the kind of first half, just how it seemed like Clippers were scoring pretty easily? Obviously, they scored a lot. You made a push in the second half, but where did you see things go awry in that first half?
You know, it was one of those games where you want your offense to help your defense, and didn't make shots, turned the ball over. So I thought we did a good job. 11 possessions of zone in the first half. They scored 8 points. We did a good job of mixing it up. There was some great team. I consider them a great team. They have Hall of Famers. Zubats is a monster. Thought he was, in some ways, the difference with his offensive rebounding, particularly in the second half. Gave up 9 offensive rebounds in the second half. He had 6 of them. But against great teams, you make mistakes. You don't get a loose ball. You don't get the defensive rebound. They make you pay every time. We made a mistake. They made us pay. But our guys competed. We fought. We stayed together. This is for us, like, this was a good process for us. Didn't get the result we wanted. Did some really good things in the second half. That's a real defense. They have a real defense, and they're physical.
JJ, I know you said it was, identities that teams tend to come and go, and might have one for a month and then it goes away. You mentioned that they are very much who they are. Did you see that kind of play out? I mean, just like their size, the way
Yeah, I mean, I saw it early in the season. They were one of the 3 games that I watched, actually. Inside joke, if you were at our scrum the other day. Watching them on tape, because a lot of times, we're obviously playing opponents that they've played. They're a defensive team with an offensive engine and a bunch of guys who play their roles really well. Then you add Kawhi to that, and the guy just doesn't miss. He gets to a spot and shoots the ball. I don't care how good the defense is. I don't care how good the contest is. He doesn't miss. They certainly have an identity, and this was like a James Harden game. Got him inside the line. He obviously hit some threes. Did a good job outside of 2 plays, keeping him off the line. Thought Gabe did a good job with the side contests. The Harden contest. You can't contest straight on against him. He'll draw the foul. Doesn't have like a super efficient shooting night, but he gets 12 assists, manipulates the game and all that stuff. So they're good.
For your group, what do you think it'll take for it to find itself and have that sort of sense of self the same way that they do?
I think we are growing, and we all know that during the growth process, you have some bumps, and that's okay. That's okay. Our group is we're together and we're connected, and certainly more times than not, and we'll continue to grow and build. But there's some good stuff tonight. There was some good stuff. So yeah, we got to keep trying to get better.
JJ, you talked about playing more 2 big lineups, and tonight you go to that 2 big lineup to close the third. You guys go on a 13-2 run. What did you see during that stretch, and just as you started to with Jackson backs to kind of test these lineups out? What did you see in general?
Yeah, I think we, in theory, should be able to get more defensive rebounds, and when we set our defense, we have more size. I think that group did a really good job, and some of that was actually in scramble mode too. When we mixed up some fires throughout the game, and we mixed up some zone throughout the game. I like that just flexibility, and I also, again, like the way the group responded to in-game stuff. Ultimately, Kawhi made shots, couldn't keep Zubats off the glass, and anytime Powell got loose, he made his pay.
You guys had 16 points in the paint in the first half. I think you guys also had 16 points in the paint in that third quarter alone. Even understanding the Clippers being the disappointing team, switching to keep you out of the paint. What wasn't working offensively for you guys in terms of getting inside the paint and scoring? And what, I guess, did you see that was better in that third quarter?
We missed a lot of layups tonight. And we missed a lot of layups, and then in the first half, we generated a ton of open threes. Didn't make them. You make open threes, you're going to get more points in the paint. So I think it just didn't make shots.
We're looking at your guys' schedule, really post-Christmas. You got this long run with very little road time, and it's almost up. You got a couple games this week, and you got the long road trip. Obviously, there was a huge thing out of your guys' control that you can't even understand how much that impact that felt. But is there any sense of, man, we weren't able to capitalize on this time of the schedule, maybe the way we would have liked to, or is there just still time to do that?
Yeah, I don't think you can certainly look at a calendar and say this is an easier part of the schedule and this is a more difficult part. Nothing's going to be easy for our team. And I figured that out very early in the season, and that's okay. And we're going to keep fighting. So we're in a good spot. I don't know what it is after today, whatever we are, sixth. Are we sixth?
Sixth.
Yeah. We have 18 losses. Yeah. So by the loss column, we're sixth. Would like to be higher. I think there's a couple games we can all say we should have won. Like, we haven't had any of those games where you're like, well, we kind of stole that one. We're going to get a couple back at some point. We just got to continue to trust each other, and we'll be fine.
Hey, Coach. You've been on this as both as a player and now as a coach. What you felt from the energy tonight, your takeaway from the energy from building being here for the first time?
Great atmosphere, just a great setup. Like I said pregame, Steve and the Clippers. I know Steve probably wasn't the architect on this, but truly fun place to play in, and obviously being Lakers Clippers, it was a great atmosphere. You felt it, you felt the juice, you felt the energy. It was fun.
You just said that, you figured out that there won't be easy nights for you guys. What does it take to play any leagues when it's like that? What's it going to take for your team to navigate just sort of the demands of the league? Tough, basically, you're not going to take the court.
Yeah, I think, again, it goes back to just not having a huge margin for error. And, I think our group is like, if one guy is gone from the rotation, there's an exponential effect to that. I think when we're healthy, we're whole, and we're playing and connected and we execute, I think we're a great basketball team. That's what I mean by that. I don't think, we have a 22-18 record. We have a negative net rating. Like, that's, some of that is lost games because we've died, but it's just we just don't have a huge margin for error, and nor can we create that margin organically. It has to be emphasized daily to touch the paint, to play paint, paint to great mentality, to make the extra pass. We don't have a guy on our team that is going to necessarily always draw to the ball, but we don't have a guy on our team that's going to be able to get past his guy one-on-one and get to the paint and spray out there. Like, that's just not our team. So we have to do it through connectivity, through execution, and when we do that, we're really good.
Talking about some positives today, they did like the zone on defense that you were talking about. I read it a little bit in the second, so like those little spurts, but Also Ruby and Max too as well. What do you see from those two? We got 19 today, but really like how Max has broken again over these last couple of games. What do you see from Max?
I mean, Max has had a nice little stretch here since we put him in the starting lineup. I think he's continuing to not only develop as a player and develop his confidence, but he's developing as a pro. I think that's what all young guys need to learn, is just how to become a pro. And that's not necessarily just, I go to the gym and shoot, or I do my recovery and I eat right. It's all part of it for sure, but it's the consistency of, this is what we're going to get from this guy every night, and he's been great with that. And Rui, I mean, he's again, he's a great guy to coach. His intent and heart is always in the right place. Wants to help the team, wants to win, whatever the game. He's a great example of, like, some games it's going to be one of his games, some games it's not, and he never fights it. He never fights the game, so he's easy to coach.